He started with a passion for stories that could move culture, shape perception, and build brands that truly speak to people. From crafting campaigns to steering some of Africa's biggest youth platforms, he's turned creativity into impact and storytelling into strategy. At the helm of Red Media Africa and as one of the minds behind the Future Awards Africa, he's championed a generation of young Africans, proving that influence isn't just about attention, it's about legacy. Leader, visionary, culture builder. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Razaq Ayodeji.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another beautiful episode of CreativiTEA. Yes, we're very excited today because we have a special person in the house, somebody who is, I call a visionary, right? Somebody shaping the conversations about youth, about media, and about culture in Nigeria and in Africa in general. I'm talking about no other person than the group CEO of Red Africa. Red Africa is a media consulting and data company that's been around for over 20 years, and they own the prestigious The Future Awards. So today we're going to be talking about how to stay relevant in the industry and to run a company like Red Media for years, and also to be able to say that they are the proud owners of such a cultural spotlight, an event that is shaping how people connect and how youth, create and innovate for the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Ayodeji Razaq.
I think I have to clap for myself too. It sounds very prestigious.
But it is, right?
It is.
How have
it
you
is.
been?
I mean, if you're speaking about today, excited and you know how a duck looks like. Calm on the outside, paddling on the inside. Because we are like 2 weeks to the awards, and there's a lot of things happening at the same time. But I'm excited.
We're going to talk a lot about the award, but first, I think I'd like to get to know you, right? Because so many times we see a lot of things. We see what people do, we see the impact, but we don't know the face behind the brand, right? So, guys, this is one of those people who is behind the scene doing amazing work. So we have to get to know you. How did you even get to this level of becoming the CEO of Red Africa?
Wow, that's a long question. It's been 15 years coming. So, I mean, my name is Ayodeji, and I've been in this industry for almost 16 years now. I've been in marketing. How did I get to become the CEO of Red? I think I've always been at Red somehow. And here's always what I mean. So I started my marketing journey in itself. I mean, I've done quite a lot of things. If you look at my story, I started working when I was 14. 13, 14. My first job, I was 13, 14 years. And it's not because I just always had the desire to do things, a desire to be useful. And I hated many other jobs. I've always hated anything that has to do with me using my hands. I like working used to my head. I mean, my first job I was a game center guy. You know what I call Onile? For those of us who, I was a proper Onile,
Are you serious?
Yeah, I knew how to play game. I liked playing PS games, and I was really good at it. So I would go to the game center and I would beat everybody. And there was a thing: if you beat everybody, you kind of need to stay there until they beat you. So I would end up being there till night. So the owner of the thing, one young dude, I think he's in Holland now, he looked at me one day. I was like, "You're always here all the time. So you might as well collect the money from people that you play and remit to him in the evening, because he's there, but I'm the one who is practically doing all the beating and collecting all the money and taking all the bets." And that was my first employment. He didn't pay me 1 month's salary. He ran away. It was 4,000. But I mean, that was my first job, and it was really good at the time. And from there, I just realized that I like those kinds of jobs. Now, it was a great job because I was doing what I liked. And so that's why I had to tell the story.
Yeah.
I was playing game.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid to play game.
Wow, yeah.
So I skipped that and I started doing things in that space, And when I got into the university, it took me a while, by the way. My journey from secondary school to university is 7 years gap. There's a whole story there too. There's a whole story there. And it's a good story. It's a good story because I can look back now and realize it was all part of the purpose. But I finished secondary school like 2002. I didn't get into university in 2009.
Wow.
It's quite weird. it's a combination of factors. For the first 5 years, JAMB was using my result. And
Jam.
my parents used to have a saying that it's probably because I was passing too much. And I think it was true because I actually was quite brilliant. And I'm still am. So I was quite academically brilliant. So it used to feel like probably I was writing the exam and passing too much. In fact, I have a testimony that I always share in situations like this where I wrote, so when I got to university, I went to university twice, so to speak. I did diploma in Unilag 2006. At the time, it was 2004. I did only like 2002 because I finished secondary school very early.
Yeah.
And I finished like 13-year-old. So I went to do Onile as a lack of anything to do at home. By 2004, 2006, I got into diploma. At that time, I had started a second career of sorts. I was dancing. Yes, you heard it for the first time.
Wow.
I used to be a dancer with Kafi, by the way.
Are you
Shout out
serious?
to Kafi.
Wow,
Yes.
are you
Ask
serious?
Kafi. I used to be went to Kafi style in Magneto. I was one of the people that used to be a backup team on the Magneto.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. I had a whole amazing, I had a whole incredible young youth. And I like it because it means that I'm very robust in how I see life. And so I used to go to Cafe Studio and we go and rehearse and we dance and we do all of that. But when I got my admission to Unilag diploma, I wanted to do something different. Now I was still dancing for the first 1 year. Diploma is a 1 year program. Diploma 2, I danced all through my diploma, but I failed out, and I realized that part of the reason why I failed out was because I was very distracted. So I took ownership of that. So when I failed out, and my father was like, "Oh yes, we finally found it." He said, "That's why he didn't get admission." He said, "Useless boy." My dad was quite upset that I failed out of diploma, and he made it a thing. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not paying your school fees any longer. We're not doing any of that." And I was like, "Okay." Now, but it was a great failure because I always tell people failure is part of success. And it was a good lesson because what it taught me, I went to diploma and I did cell biology and genetics. Why? Because when I'd always written JAM, I wanted to be a doctor. Because again, it is in traditional Nigerian homes.
Yeah.
If you're really academically brilliant, I was always top of my class. And fun fact, Tomilola Majeko to me, she owns Bankley. She just raised money. She's really important in our financial industry. We were classmates in primary school. She was first, I was second.
Nice.
She was, So, and I say it because it's tell you that there's a clear link between academic success and, success in life. People always say school, that's scam. I don't think so. And back to my story. When I kept failing, when I failed cell biology, it taught me that I knew sciences, but I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
Because I passed all my life without stressing the need to read. I could read and understand and move on. But with sciences, it felt like I had to be doing a lot more work. And I think that was the thing that I didn't know at the time. But when I failed diploma and I came back home, I realized I didn't want to do science any longer. So I had the opportunity of waiting a whole 1 year. So I'd done 2006, 2007. So you see, I'd failed that and I was late in school again. When I came back 2007, 2008, my father was like, "He's not paying for JAMB." So at this point, I only had money to buy poly JAMB because I had missed out on JAMB, and since he wasn't going to pay, and I did not write the JAMB because if you've gone to uni, there's always these stories around. There'll be a second list, there'll be a third list.
Yes.
So we were waiting that there was a second list, and I missed out on writing JAMB.
Oh.
So because at that time there was still poly JAMB, so the next exam available was poly JAMB. So I bought that form, and I wrote poly JAMB. But because poly JAMB is not very science heavy, the sciences there were not medical sciences. You are seeing more technical sciences. So you're thinking of the likes of lab tech and all those things. I didn't want to do those things. I wanted to be a doctor. So I was looking for medical sciences, not something technical, which is what Polytechnic was. So I ended up saying, what, I won't fill Polytechnic exams. I won't fill sciences. And I did economics, commerce, and I can't remember the last one, but economics and commerce and maths and English. No, economics, commerce, English and maths. Those were the courses I did. So I had to read for the first time in my life. Read for commerce and economics.
First time.
Because I was a science student. Imagine science student for the last 6 years plus out of school plus 6 years of school, 12 years. But I sat at home and I read and I understood it. And it was quite interesting. It was really easy for me. And I'm like, is that what they say so hard? So I wrote it, I passed. The ridiculous thing that I passed, I got 222. If you know PolyJam at the time, the scores were over 300.
Yes.
So 222 essentially meant that you are really top of the class.
Yeah.
For context, in the year I'm talking about, the highest in Lagos was 230. 230 or 231. And I think I was 222. So I felt really confident that I was going to get admission. I didn't get admission. Yabatech did not give me. My name did not come out on the list.
Wow.
It was a testimony that it was shocking because Every lecture. So my father knew somebody, my mother knew somebody. You know, we know someone. Said, go to the school. Why would your name not be on the list? I went to see the rector. I went to see I don't know, it's called the rector in Polytechnic these days. I'm not sure what it was. But I went to see the top of the school. I went to everybody in the school and they were like, it's not possible. 222. On the list, there's people that have 180, 195. How did you 222? 222 is like getting 280 in JAMB. It was that good a score. Like, it's not possible. No, it's impossible. No. We checked the list for days. I didn't even come out.
Wow.
And it was almost like somebody missed out on it. But I thought I always thought that was God telling me this is not for you. He was telling me that this is where I should be. So I did not take the admission.
Yeah.
Then I told me, oh, don't worry. We'll find second list for you and put your name on it. I did not pursue it. I just didn't have any because I didn't like the course. I liked the fact that I passed. I validated myself. But I didn't like the course options that were available. And it was Yabatek. I didn't want to leave Lagos. Now, my brother was in Ife and I didn't want to travel. I would like Lagos. Remember I was dancing. So I also needed to stay within that ecosystem. And then I wrote JAMB again the next year. And then I passed and I chose Unilag. So at this point, I had figured out life a little more. So that's 7 years. I was now, when you had faced challenges and I realized I was a lot more learned. I was like, okay, I know what I want to do. And I read a couple of books and I chose psychology. And that's how I ended up psychology. So it was in psychology that I came across Red Media while I was in psychology. So, and now I had an intentionality about what I wanted for my life. I knew very well that I wanted to be someone that spoke to people. I wanted to be someone, I knew what I wanted in terms of how I wanted to be. I didn't know what career, but I just knew I didn't want certain friends. So for example, I quit dancing. Not because I didn't like dancing, because I had done something that I started to do at that point in my life, which is ask who is the best in this field. If I could achieve 222, it was a case of who is the best? Why is it not me? So I saw dancing, I'm like, who is the best in dancing? It was Kafi. I'm like, would I ever better than her? No.
Wow. So that was why you quit?
Yeah, because I had a mentor at the time who kept telling me, if you're going to play to be the best. If you cannot achieve number one, don't play the sport. So I had a rule. I looked at them like, I was never going to be the greatest dancer. In the group of Kafi's people, I wasn't even the best person.
Yeah.
So the Kafi is the best. I wasn't the best of the rest. I was a decent enough dancer. I was dancing, but I was like, this is not it. This cannot be the best I can achieve. So I quit. I just stopped going to rehearsals. In fact, for a long time, she didn't take my calls because she would call me, I'll just ignore. She would text me and say, I'll just ignore because I did it terribly. I mean, we're good now. And I quit. I just quit dancing. And it was while I was in Unilag, I realized I wanted to be more. So when Red Media, at the time, were running a campaign for BlackBerry phone, and they put a sticker on the wall somewhere on campus. Now it was posters, there were no mobile devices per se. There were mobile devices, but not this popular. And they wanted ambassadors for BlackBerry. And
student ambassadors.
They didn't say students, they just said they wanted ambassadors. And there was nothing on offer. There was no pay, nothing. It was just, I can remember the poster very well. I remember the picture. It was one cool kid dancing, and it was a dancing image. Again, so you see that everything works together. The picture of the child, the picture of the boy on the thing looked like it was dancing, did a flip. And they were like, wanted cool kids who could represent BlackBerry on campus and, rep the brand and all of that. And you will get in reward cool shirts, merch, and a BlackBerry phone. I'm like, oh, a BlackBerry phone? No, they didn't even promise a BlackBerry phone. They said cool shirts, merch, and cool items. They didn't promise a phone.
Yeah.
And they said, and the opportunity to get a phone. And I'm like, okay, BlackBerry phone. That's more than enough reason for me to do it. And I signed up. We're 1,500 from Unilag, 6,000 across the country. They picked 3 of us.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my first interaction with Red.
Oh.
Like I said, I only played to win. I remember that I was sitting across Adebola came to interview the Unilag students.
Yeah.
And I sat across him in the interview room. I was asking him questions. He asked me, said, so what do you do? Why are you cool? I said, I'm a campus fellowship president. I was campus fellowship president, yeah. Because I had proper turned my life around, come to Jesus moment, you face failure. So I'm like, I got to focus on God. And that was how I met BlackBerry and Adebola. So I worked with them for 2 years plus on the BlackBerry project. They employed us. So when we got the contract, it was a really good contract. We got paid a bucket load of money. It was like, student living like a god. Because I was like full-time employment as a student. But that was not how they sold it. They sold it as, because that's the goal, again, and you learn that with everything we do. They sold it as, do you want to do this called passion?
I get it. So that's nice.
So if you want to do it for passion, you do it. And we did it. And that's how I joined Red ecosystem, and I almost never left. So after I left school, I did digital marketing. Of course, it was in vogue, 2020s, 2010s.
Yes.
Everybody was doing digital marketing, so I did it. Went to digital marketing. I was digital marketer. I was worked with biology and Olashin Koshashore, the one-time chief of staff of Lagos, I think. I worked in his company as a digital marketer. Switched that. Worked somewhere else. Worked in brand life as an experiential person. I worked with Red Media again because we're doing some projects collaborating, but I never stayed out of their life. So when they were looking for someone to lead, Chidi just reached out to me, and I'm like, if not, why not? At this point, I'd built my own agencies and group, the people company and all of that, but if not, why not?
So you had your own agency?
I do
before
have my own
then?
agencies, yes.
Yeah.
So I have a group called The People Company.
Okay.
It's co-founded by me and my business partner, Adim Isiapona. It's like almost 9 years old, my agency. Yeah, we set it out in 2016.
What does it do?
So we have right now it's expanded. When we first started, it was just experiential marketing.
Okay.
So we had an experiential agency called Rekisa. It's probably one of the biggest in the country right now. And then we expanded and we set up Duo. It's a digital agency and an experiential agency because there's some clients at the time we couldn't work on some clients because of our contracts. So we set up a different team. You know how agencies split up their organizations. Set up a different team for the Chinese war purpose. So they were doing clients that we couldn't touch with Rekisa, and we were executing that. So when we saw that we were getting up bigger as a group, we had digital, and then Duo we needed digital agency because of COVID. When 2020 hit, everybody was pivoting to digital, and I was not going to shut down and say go home. At this point, I had been 4 years in the industry, so I just set up a digital agency to again meet the demands of digital needs at the time. So Duo was that purpose, and then we started to expand into Africa. So we have business in Rwanda now. We have 3 accounts in Rwanda. We have an account in Uganda. So this is my own agency, by the way.
So you're still doing this even as you're the CEO of Red Africa?
Yes.
Interesting. How are you managing all those things?
Anytime anybody asks a question, I always ask them a question in return. How do you think Bill Gates and Elon Musk does it? They lead groups.
Teams, yeah. So that's one thing I've seen that you have in what's that word now? You and Chude have in common. You like systems. You build system and then you watch it grow and then you just take the helms of affair and then you lead. I think that's amazing. So now I understand why they picked you to lead Red Africa.
Yeah, you see, there's a pathway there.
Yeah.
And I see something every time. Adebola said something to me when we're in the BlackBerry program in 2010. It came to speak to us as ambassadors. So, by the way, I was not the only one. We're 3. Actually, they picked 3 people from Lagos.
Said so, yeah.
They picked 12 from across the country. We're 12 in total. So they had ambassadors in Enugu, Port Harcourt, Calabar, like that. And so they brought everybody to Lagos. And I remember that meeting one day. He was speaking to us and he said, in your last show, it's stuck. It's a proverb. It means people are the clothing by which we progress. People make up your ecosystem. It's stuck. And so when I build businesses and when I build projects, when I build out teams, the first thing I'm looking for is people, good people. I always tell my team every time I hire for skill, I keep for attitude.
Nice.
No matter how skillful you are, if you have the wrong attitude, you're out. My team knows. In fact, there are people that will keep on the team for decades. I have someone that's been on the team that I'll probably like, I should have let this guy go if you're skill only. But his attitude is so honest, it's so consistent. Because every time you realize that we're in a country that is fraught with trust issues. You wake up in the morning, you cannot trust that your team are doing what they said they're supposed to do. So I look and I stay very hard in the space where I'm waiting for people that I can trust. Because that's the only way you can build strong businesses, build strong system. The People Company has been running for, like I said, 9 years. My partner is there now. I've stepped away, not completely, but I've become less as involved in the day-to-day. I'm only involved on more surface touch level on certain things. Operationalizing it, that's, we've done all of that work. So I'm just making sure that the engine keeps running. My partner is dealing with all of the 9 to 5, all the meetings. In fact, my partner called us like, I'm in a meeting, I'm going to call you back. And this was someone that didn't used to be there. So the first 5 years of the existence of the business, it was all me. It was me running. When I joined Red 3 years ago, I realized I can't be both spaces. Now, both businesses, quite coincidentally, were seated in Surulere.
Are you serious?
Yes. Red is in Surulere. Our business is to be headquartered in Surulere. Now, we've moved to Bagada, But at the time when I joined Red, I used to be able to. I would start my day in Red, close at people company,
That's you.
and then and all of that. But we
Yeah.
still do a dovetail every now and then. I would pop in at people company, but yeah. But
So
it's doing.
the relationship between you and Adebola Williams and Chude, I'm surprised it grew from, a student ambassador, and then it became something deeper, and I think they have a lot of respect for you. So why did you think you were able to achieve that respect that you have, that they have for you, and for them to be able to you were handpicked, right?
Yes, I'm picked.
Yes, for this job.
I think, I mean, I cannot speak for them, but I can only speak to what I've heard from them. And one thing I hear a lot from Chude is, first and foremost, the honesty of how I show up. I have built.
Yeah.
I do know what it means to build organizations. And when he came to me and said, do you want to do this? Can you do this? The first thing I told him is this. I want to do it, not even because of because I like red. I love red. And as an outsider,
They give you a first opportunity.
exactly. So it's nostalgic. And then there's also the fact that I had never worked in comms. I worked in all forms of marketing. I tell you, I've done digital marketing,
Yeah.
I've done experiential marketing. I even do, my agency now includes a creative agency. Flip side. So we have a digital agency, we have a creative agency, we have a technical agency, we have a what's that word? We have a solutions business. So Solve provides tech products and all of that. And they are all thriving businesses. We have a production house called SBX Studios. So we make films for YouTube, subscribe to our channel. This is my chance to market. SBX TV on YouTube. I can do my marketing.
You go ahead.
Linda, don't cut out my marketing.
No.
I will even help you promote
Okay.
it.
I mean, we do movies, we do all of those things. And why are we able to do that is because we have the right people. But because I had done all of this, the one thing that was missing from my portfolio
It's comms.
is comms. I'd never done comms. And I had no idea what they do. So when they say, oh, PR agency, what's your plan? I'm in the room thinking, yeah, say your thing. But I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So it was quite exciting that this would be an opportunity to learn. Because I could then sit on the table and say, I know all forms of marketing. If I'm really going to be who I claim to be, if I'm really going to live up to the name and say, I understand marketing, I have to have done everything. And because I started an agency, there's almost no room elsewhere than this kind of room so earlier in my career, I was telling myself, maybe sometime I'll quit and go to the client side. You know how you just always have that dream that one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I've worked on client side, I worked in BlackBerry. And my days working in BlackBerry was client side. It was essentially client side. I was working with agencies, working with other people. Like, I'd done that. So I'm looking like, will I ever be able to go and do that as a, in quotes, CEO of agency? Will pride allow me? And all these things were things that I constantly myself. So I was like, how will I get this knowledge from? So when this opportunity came, I was like, oh, fantastic. Why not? I was actively praying, should they choose me? Because they were, okay, well, look at other people. Don't look at other people, look at me.
But they're kind of similar, right? Your agency and Red, are there no conflicting interests there?
That's a question that everybody asks at the beginning, but they're not. We actually coexist to help each other.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. We are both in several businesses together, coincidentally, which is why it was quite easy for me to seamlessly transition. So, Red is registered as a Nigerian breeze vendor. Rikisa was registered as a Nigerian breeze vendor.
Are you serious?
Yes, they were always there. It's not, I didn't bring anyone in. It was always, Rikisa
so
was
you're
there.
always working together.
So I would see Red team come for events and they would see my team. In fact, when I first joined Red, people used to confuse when I show up in meetings. Like, we didn't ask for expression. I'm like, no, I'm here as Red. So now I don't even show up for Rikisa at all. Because like I said, my partner is there, so he deals with all of that. I just show up in a room and they know it's Red. Because that's my identity in this moment. But we exist in the same space, but serve different purposes. And that allows me, and what it does then do is like what you have in global agencies, the power of one. So I walk into a room now and I'm pitching to a brand new client, I'm pitching the entire ecosystem. So I walk into if I get a lead through Rikisa, Red is going to benefit. Because when I get in there, I'm not saying just Rikisa. There's a client I'm pitching to for confidence, I can't talk about it. And we're speaking and we're talking and they're saying, oh, you will do this, you do that, you do that. I'm like, who's handling your PR? They're like, yeah, we don't. I'm like, okay, so I'll just give you a plan for that. We'll keep. So I just call the red team and say, guys, this client that Rikisa is pitching to, or this client that XB is pitching to. So we'll go and pitch a production content. And like, who's doing the PR for this movie? They're like, we've not really. Oh, say no more. I'll send you a PR plan. And what then happens is that it allows me, and because I know both sides of the coin, I speak more robustly, and clients trust us faster.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So, how was it like trying to get yourself immersed into the red culture? Anyway, you said you already knew it because you were already working with
Yeah.
them, but I'm sure there was
Oh,
still
yes.
some little challenges or differences. So, how were you able to adapt so quickly without and this is the thing, without people getting to know that they've changed hands? Because I actually did not know until the last time we met that I still thought Debola Williams was still CEO.
Yeah, so that was actually one of the most challenging parts of taking over the ecosystem of Red. The Red ecosystem had been built very strongly on the founders' backs, and
Debola Williams red cap.
do you understand? Adebola Williams had embodied the Red identity. Chude had embodied their storytelling. If you want to see Red, this was so, and this is me. No experience. First, I didn't have a popular public image.
Yes.
I didn't search for it. I did not crave it. I did not even, pursue it. I had a decent image, every now and then you see me in one story, but it's not, because experiential work, nobody puts you in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Nobody puts, it's the brand. They give us an interview. I mean, with context. I won a Guinness World Record for Dano in 2018.
Oh.
Yep, exactly. This is the last wow. I have a Guinness World Record on my wall that we did, a campaign we did for Dano in 2018.
Wow.
Before it became popular.
Yeah.
Full Guinness World Record. It was a whole thing. My agency is not. We couldn't, because we are not storytellers for ourselves. I know, especially agencies forget to tell their own stories. We do the work and you leave the room. It's almost like a event planner at a wedding. You do the wedding.
Yeah.
It's not your wedding. Exit the stage. So more often than not, people forget that we've done the work. So when this opportunity came up, I realized I was going to be bridging two hearts, trying to become Adebola and become Chude storytelling.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? I have to be Ayodeji. And what does Ayodeji know how to do best? Can build systems. I said, let's stay there. So which is why people didn't know, because I was doing what I knew how to do best. Build the system. So both founders needed to walk away and do other things. They had grown into bigger brands and needed to evolve. I needed to evolve the current system to fit me. Meaning, I could not stay there and be trying to image or copy them or do any of that. So, in the very early stage, people call and say, they'll send it and say it's for Adebola, and of course, I would reach out to him and say, Ayo, that's your problem, you should deal with it. So I say, it's you. He will say, what Adebola come and speak at an event? Adebola should attend this meeting. And I'll call him and be like, no. Say, I will try and join, but really, this is about you. So I started to put systems in place that ensure that those conversations didn't happen, which essentially meant I pulled out the role of the CEO from important conversations. So when they ask, I put different people in place. So I built other people, other generals. I say, you can't talk to the CEO. This person you will talk to. Because I could not be saying I'm the CEO. Because then the question, when they change? So to avoid that conversation, I just ignored the role of the CEO and made sure that that role was solidified. I built the foundation.
Nice.
So I kept doing that for almost a year. By the time they announced, 6 months after I had taken over, when there was an announcement that went out, most people did not even take attention. Because first, I didn't dial it up because I knew what I was doing. And they did their most, and because they didn't know they're busy. They moved on. So people kept asking me that, oh, but have they transitioned? Have you now the CEO? And I'm like, yes, I'm the CEO. But they're like, okay, but is there going to be an announcement? I'm like, it's gone out. It's gone out. I've done it already. But we did that for a bit. For me, the hardest part, again, like I mentioned, is that I couldn't become either of them. I had to be me. Even now, we still struggle with it. We still struggle. There's still some every now and then teething issues, like every growing child. There's still places where people will say, oh, we want Chude to be the one to lead this conversation. I'm like, as what? Because you kind of need to define what his role will be.
Yeah.
It's not as red. They'll be like, oh, I was like, no. And I tell people, I say, Chude is no longer a red. So if you want Jude, you have to engage Jude. They say, no, but red, no, it's not red. Like, you will have to engage Jude. Debola, they someone wanted that Debola consult for them. I sent them his bill. They were shocked. Say, but we're paying you. I said, you're paying red. Debola is a whole ecosystem. You're going to pay him differently. You know, we do that now. It's, but, I mean, see us.
Interesting. This backstory is actually very, very interesting. If you had not said it, we wouldn't have known.
Thank you.
But I like what you're doing. Like you said, you wanted to build it for yourself, build your own name, right? Because I know it's not easy. Like you rightly said, Chude was very popular. He's still very popular. And his personal brand impacted Red. Adebola Williams, the same thing. In fact, before I knew Adebola Williams' name, I knew his red cap. So they actually used their personal identity, when they were growing the company. So it was like a very good relationship. But you came with another approach, which is, okay, let me just build systems, and you have been able to sustain that. So I think kudos to you, because it's like a different thing altogether, and you've been able to sustain it. So now let's go over to the main reason we are here, the Future Awards. First of all, you inherited the Future Awards, right? But I'm sure you understand why it was set up in the beginning. Yes. So can you explain to us what really is the Future Awards about?
The Future was actually the cradle of Red itself. It's the birthplace of Red. It actually came before Red.
Yeah, because it's over 20 years.
The Future Awards is, so when I say it came before Red, is that it's the product that birthed the company. The founders sat down and said they wanted to do something to reach young people, give young people a voice. I was about to tell you the founder story, but I realized we are going to launch a book. You will hear all of it in the book. But I'll give you, now people know. It's the first place you hear that the book is coming. It's going to be founder's book, on transitioning and how they bettered the company. Okay. So that would help this process. But
nice.
So the Future Awards is the cradle home. And because it speaks to the actual reason why Red exists, and here's the why. There was in the early 2000s, there was almost no space for young people to express.
Yeah.
There were no room for young people. I mean, if you think about the politics of the time, the governance of the time, young people didn't exist. And more importantly, they were not acknowledged for any kind of work. It was, you have to have won a certain being to be an agency. You have to be one of the big boys. You have to have, it was almost like we were begging to be heard. You had to beg for room. So the Future Awards was, and it's very weird. The people that started it, Judy and they were very, very teenagers.
Yeah, right?
They were teenagers when they said, you know what? We need to do something about this problem.
How old were they?
They were, I think, under 19. I think Debola was probably 17, she was probably 18.
Wow.
Yeah. They were barely out of their teens when they set it up. And it was audacious, it was bold. It was extremely bold, if you think about it. And it was, how do we do something that lives beyond us? How do we even do something that acknowledges young people? And that's why the prizes at the Future Awards are for all kinds of people. It's called, in the World Bank has designated it at some point, the Nobel Prize for Africans. It's called Nobel Prize for Young People in Africa.
Nice.
And the reason why it's called that is because the award itself recognizes young people in all fields. We look at the ecosystem of the young generation today and we say, what are they doing? And we've done that every year, even at Future Awards. So when I first came in contact with Future Awards, when I first met the Red team, I wanted to win it.
You wanted to win it?
Because it's probably the most credible award on the continent.
Yeah.
And I say it with so much pride. It's not just because I've won it, because I've seen too many awards where you're just called and given, you're just, all kinds of sneaky ways, but we're not talking about them. But with the Future Awards, there is, in fact, I was speaking to a nominee 4 days ago. He called me to ask some questions and all that. And I was like, can I even ask how I was nominated? And I said, unfortunately, I know the process. I don't know how you got nominated. The process is simple. We do a call for nominations. People nominate people. The nominations go into what is called the Central Working Committee. The CWC is a group of people. They are like 50 people. It's a huge crowd. They sit down on the names and they sieve through it. Some names make it to the top, some names don't. And there are many, many, many people in that's why the committee. There are many factions in it. Some people's job is to just research and see if this person has any reason why we shouldn't be nominated. It can be a scandal, it can be controversy, and that's why you see that feature.
Are you serious? So you guys consider controversy?
I mean, I'm not the
I understand.
they guys. The reason why is part of a guideline that is already
in place. Yeah.
So what they look out for, I don't know, the Future Awards goal is to identify young people who are making impact.
Impact.
You must be making an impact. You must be changing. It's like almost like a tap to say, we see you, no matter where you are. There a lot of people, if you hear the story of Future Awards over the years, people will tell you, I didn't even know that they knew, that people knew I was doing this, because they were doing it in secret. And someone will just say, that's the person. And then we look at them like, oh, this guy is good. And then they will come back and say, Remy, I'm like, okay. Some people like, well, I've been working 20 years. I mean, when I was entering with Future Awards, remember I started my agency. At some point in 2015, 2016, I entered that, with my agency experience. I entered the game when I'd done a lot of, revenue. I'd made my first 100 million in revenue and all of those things. So I realized that it's not vain metrics. It's actually impact. Are you telling a story of impact? Are you making a progress of impact? The nominee I was speaking to actually said to me very clearly, said, he realizes that there are other nominees in his field, other people in his field, who would, in his own mind, are more credible. I said, but see, that's the thing. It's not a mind thing. It's a series of things. So when you win it, and we've over the years shown consistently for the last 20 years, you win the Future Awards, we are almost 95% right. You become someone of importance. It's such a humbling moment for me. When I go through winners list, I'm like, this guy won it in 2011. It makes sense. Because down the line, people will see it and be like, how did you know? For example, Tune Okoya was a nominee, I think, 6 years ago. Or something funny. Most people don't even know him. Most people didn't know him at the time when we nominated him.
Yeah.
When nominated this year, people were like, oh, Tune Okoya, like, what nomination? His first nomination was 6 years ago. When he was not even sure that the work he was doing
was making an impact.
But we see it. And that's why the Future was so great.
So, but do you have any example that you can give us of somebody who has won the Future Awards before, and the awards, even if it's not the award that changed the trajectory of the person's career, but at least, do you have any example of anybody that has made impact, after winning the Future Awards?
I think we probably have like I said, we have a 95% success rate.
Okay.
And I don't like to blow our own trumpet, but
what I
always say is this: give me someone on the continent of Africa. Okay, let's not go too far so that you don't start looking for names. Just on Nigeria, that is under the age of 40 and is making an impact. And I will Google it now and show you that they were a nominee or a winner at some point
in Future Awards.
Anybody in the room can check it. Find somebody anywhere on the continent. When Davido was nominated, it was 2008 or something like that. Again, you will say, oh, we all knew, but we didn't all know, because at the time when Davido came out, there were other artists in the industry. There was the likes of Shank, who was also big. There were the likes of, and I'm not trying to say they are not big now. I'm just trying to tell you that the success of Davido tells you, again, validates the work we did at Dawn of Future Awards. And it's not the only one. And I say it with so much confidence that I'm using the ones that are popular, because Future Awards never happened. Like, the popular categories are the ones that most people remember. Music and all the rest.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If you know, what's her name? Phoebe Damia Solo.
Yeah.
She's Coca-Cola. She was Coca-Cola. I think she's Coca-Cola now. She was 2 years ago, I think she was a winner for entrepreneurship or professional service. I'm not sure which category, but it's one of the working categories. When I saw she was promoted in our organization, because why don't you like it? We see it. It doesn't have to be, and I'm talking from the ones that I remember. This is my own 3 years at Future Awards. When I go into the history books, you would have to, I struggle. Sometimes I'll be like, they nominated you. I'm not like, they nominated you too, Sha. Because they almost always, like I told you Tunde Onakoya is a very strong example. I didn't know they wanted to Onakoya. Another example, Fola Davids. All of you know Fola David. Fola David was nominated in 2017 for art. He only got his Guinness World Record last year.
Yes, yeah.
But nominated in 2017 for art. There's another artist, Ken Nwachukwu or Ken Nwadiobu. Ken was nominated 3 times for arts in Future Awards. Ken is a big artist in the UK. In the UK, now people are buying Ken's art for easily 100,000, 50,000 pounds. We nominated in 2014, 2013. Again, these are predictive measures. When we nominated Ken, he was just an artist. Where he is now is validation of the fact that we saw it, which is why the Future Awards, that's what the Future Awards is about. It is we see it. Even though you may not see yourself in that light, we see it. And there's so many stories like that, I tell you. And I'm only remembering the ones that I can, there was a young man, John Obidi. John Obidi was nominated. When nominated John was in Edo State. He was in Benin. He always tells the story. He doesn't, in fact, John Obidi was nominated. He came to Lagos, thought it was a lie. It was like, these people are lying. How can they, me, for new media? I'm just one boy in Edo State. John, right now, is an industry head in new media. Everybody refers to him when it comes to new media conversations in Africa.
So, but how do you guys do? Just give us a bit of idea about the process.
What
do
you see in them? Let's be literal a little bit. What do you see in these people?
Like I said,
aside from the process, process might be technical. Let's hear the story of what you see in these people
and how they even pinpoint. Maybe how you see it and how you know where they are, because there are lots all over Africa.
That's the work that birthed Red.
Oh, I see.
When they started out, it was to identify Nigerians and give voice to young people in Nigeria. When they started to do work in the industry, Red set up what is called the Future Project. With the Future Project, which is where the Future Award sits. Under the Future Project, in the Future Project, we realized that when we're doing work for clients like Access Bank and these people and Nigerian breweries and all of that, you will go to some regions. My team will do a project in a region. I realize in this one, there's this music talent that everybody's talking about. It's going to be the next big thing. That you can see it. So when they come back, like, have you guys heard of this guy? We're like, we don't know him. And then we look at him like, this guy is big in the East. You look at his trajectory, and we send it to the CWC, because we do that. Then send him to CWC and say, for next year's Future Awards, I do it a lot. Look at him like, it's a Future Awards. We should look at him. They may never come up. The CWC might look at the parameters and say, that guy, they accuse him of rape or something. I don't know. I just never know why they drop people. Honestly, because I'm not in the CWC.
Yeah,
so, but they just never put some people up. And I'll be like, why? But down the line, I'll be like, maybe this is something. And honestly speaking, I feel like when 50 people sit down, 50 people who have experience doing this, because CWC is a very old group. Not old age-wise. They are people of PS, by the way. They are young people. They are age of people that were judging.
Oh, okay.
So I think obviously the only way we refresh them is that we put people from the same age group. So if I'm sending, it's a 19-year-old, it's a 20-year-old, they're all in the CWC. So what they're looking at is what they see, their present, and what they think their future will look like. So if someone's going to be a big TikTok star, I don't use TikTok, right? But if someone who spends time on TikTok would know.
Yeah.
Jonathan will say, that guy, he goes soon cast. And I'll be like, I don't know this, but I use Instagram a lot. So if I saw one on Instagram, some content is on Instagram, like, they'll start following you very soon. Because I kind of have a read on Instagram, and this is just use social media. Same thing with the place of work. I think I hire really well. If someone walks into a room,
maybe because of your psychology background,
I don't even doubt it. So walk into the room and I sit down with you 5 minutes, I've decided I'm going to hire you or not. And my team will be like, I'm not sure. I think this person is good. But some are like, this guy's good. He's got it. And they'll be like, oh, no. I'm like, don't worry. He's got it. Usually, that comes from experience. Now, the CWC operates with even more defined parameters than intuition. But it's of their peers. Now, from CWC, the list is now shortened and collapsed. Now, how do we find people that will put in CWC first and foremost? It's from all the work we do at the Future Project. So the Future Project goes across the country doing trainings, leadership courses, projects, and all of those tactical things. So when we're doing all those things, we meet people. There was someone that I thought would have been nominated this year. She does an incredible work in the Noble where she takes recycled waste and turns into electricity to power our community and all of those things. I'm like, wow, I was blown away. I don't know if she made it to the committee. I don't think so. I don't think she made it to the list because I might have spotted it. But I was blown away when I saw that. I was in Abuja and she was pitching something and I was like, oh, this girl is good. But again, this is my own thoughts. By the time they obviously look at it, they might have seen maybe 200 of that, I might be blown away by it. They've been doing it for a longer time. And there are different levels to the committee. So they just keep some people, and that happens a lot. We don't, like I always say, I don't claim to say that we've acted in terms of being able to figure out everybody. But what we do know is that when we do distill the numbers that we have, we are almost 95% correct in terms of people that we've chosen. And I'm always very grateful about the fact that when we meet people years down the line, I already hear scandals. I already hear things like Future Award winner did this or did that. A lot of people that the only award they've ever won. In fact, this what's that name? Our the fighter, the Akisaya, Israel.
Yes, Israel.
When Israel won the TFA, if you look at almost all these videos, for the longest time, the plaque behind him a lot was his TFA. Go on his social media. When he won it, for the longest time, the content he was making was his TFA. I used to be very blown away because I always thought people like Israel, they should have tons of awards. But you see, he valued it. It was posted, and it didn't, I don't even think that people identified it the way, because we know our award. So when I see him making a video, I see TFA in the background, I'm like, this guy. I would think that someone like Israel would have, again, it's a big fighter, it's Ayodeji Razaq. But the TFA is that important.
Yes.
I'm very happy with all I'm hearing. It's just not another award. It's an award for people who are actually making impacts across different industries. So if you own that award, you should give yourself a pat on the back.
Yes,
and there's an age limit, right? So between the ages of 18 to 34. So it's not just for anybody. It's for people who will impact the future. That's why it's called the Future Awards. Well, my question to you now is, how do you guys stay grounded? Because I've seen your nominees list for 2025, and the first thing I said was, I'm not seeing any celebrity here. So it's not based on popularity. So how do you stay grounded? Because there are a lot of trendy stuff going on, and you say it's not a popularity contest, but we're in a world right now where it's almost
attention is currency.
You understand? So how do you guys do it? How do you
so
stay
we
grounded?
do have popular people.
Yeah.
What makes it is that when you look through the list at first glance, the popular names don't jump out because it's not. The categories are 25. We have 25, 26 categories. We have popular people. In fact, this year we introduced a category called performing arts. Because I realized, we sat to the committee and we're discussing the awards, and we kept asking ourselves, what is missing? Is there a subsect of the young people that we're not capturing? Are there people doing things that we don't identify? People have come to me and say things like, how come you're not in an award for the fashion industry? I say there's Future Awards for fashion. There's price fashion. They say no, not fashion. It's like makeup artists. I'm like, we've not figured it out. Like I said, we're still learning this new scope. But what we do know is that there's a missing subset in our awards this year, and we created the performing arts. Realize there are people who, there's a whole industry shaping out in content creation. The hype men, magicians.
Oh yeah.
The DJs.
Yeah.
If you think about the entertainment sector now, it's not just music. It's not just musicians. It's the hype men, the magicians, the DJs. We're not catering to that audience. Spoken word artists, they used to get nominated on that literature and creativity, because there's prize for creativity. Yeah. But creativity has become so.
It's diverse.
This year, a couple of years ago, creativity was the guys who were making something with something, making shoe from foam and all those. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the original goal for creativity. Because at some point, creativity was people who were doing spoken word. Now, creativity, it's a whole spectrum. Yeah. So we decided to fragment it and we created performing arts. And every year, we're always looking to refine it. So there are some sectors, and what we've done is that by looking at all those subsectors and all those prizes, we're able to then identify what young people are actually focusing on and what they are putting their effort in. And that's how, when we identify who the future will be, we look at what is the young person today? Who are their role models? What are they looking for? It's quite interesting that one of the nominees for this year's Prize for Women Artists is someone called Big Billy.
Okay.
He's an hype man. Big Billy.
Okay.
I saw it on social media. He's an hype man. And he's almost like the Dotto of this era. Do you understand? Now, in the past, a Dotto was the only one. He felt like the only one in that space. I mean, there were other people. There were Shodi and the rest, but Dotto owned that whole hype industry and, hype man energy. He's the hype man of his era. And we're like, how can we miss out on that? There are a lot of people who see Dotto and they show this and say they want to be like him. And there's a lot more hype. If you go on TikTok now, there are TikTok hypers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I didn't know that's a thing.
Yes.
There's a hype man on TikTok. Just hype on TikTok.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
That's an industry. So we're like, how can we make sure that these people, we identify those who are actually making a change in that space? And that's what we're trying to do with. So do we always get it right? I think that's 5% of the time. And are we able to reach young people? Yes. How have we stayed grounded and avoided the bait of becoming popularity focused? Is by, again, focusing on what our whole goal is. Are you actually making a change? If out of 25 categories, 15 of them are for people who are doing things that are not in popular spaces. Because again, if you think about Nigeria is not just Lagos.
Of course.
Of course.
And Nigeria is not just entertainment. Young people are not just entertainment.
Yeah.
So when you say popularity, most of the time you're speaking to entertainment and all those sectors. And we're like, there's more. There's price for entrepreneurship. There's price for entrepreneurship. And this year I was so excited when I saw the nominees list because I only see it after the facts too. And I thought Tomike was on the nominees list. Tomike is popular.
Yeah, she's popular.
But she was nominated as content creator.
Oh, what?
So nominated as an entrepreneur.
Oh, yes.
Because Tomike has a strong business.
Yeah.
But people ignore it. People think she's all just content. But Tomike she's a huge entrepreneur. She's the CEO of a studio. She's
Mali Award.
done Mali Award for almost 6 years. Mali Award has generated a ridiculous amount in revenue. So we're telling people what the future was telling you is that you don't have to be Aliko Dangote to be considered an entrepreneur. You can be Tomike too.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You can just be selling hair. It's entrepreneurship. It's good business.
Yeah.
And that's what the future was. So Tomike is popular. But
Yeah,
you
she
see,
is.
you were not looking at her because you were looking for popularity in content creation.
No, I actually didn't see her. Maybe
That's what I'm saying. It's there. It's because when you look at the names, they don't jump at you.
Yes.
Debo,
Yes.
Mr. Macaroni, was nominated for acting, not for content creation.
Content creation, yeah.
If you go into all the categories, you see that there are people there, but they are nominated for the craft that we believe or they submitted or people that nominated them for as the industry that they want people to recognize them for. Debo, I've looked at Debo's submissions because after the miss, whenever I go into submission, I look at something like it's not quite a number of movies. For someone that we identify as
A
content creator,
Yeah.
he spent enough time in the movie industry. And that's what we're trying to show people. You can be all of these things. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I read this morning, a genius is not just this person who does one thing. It's that person who can do a ton of things and be successful at all of them. The young people of this world of Nigeria today, they are geniuses because they do a ton of things. My good friend there, she's the chef, she's this, she's that, you don't want to know everything she's doing. It's not a one size fits all approach.
Nice. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's quite impressive that Future Awards, them Debola and Chud started with Future Awards. Why it's impressive is because of the fact that they were young to themselves and them wanting to award people that are young too as well. I mean, their mindset is,
they are incredible people.
Yeah. I can relate to that because, when I was young in Surulere at the time, I had this group that I signed. And me, as an artist, I have not yet.
I'm not blue.
And we were packing ourselves up and down, calling ourselves UMCs, and all of that, But I think the most important thing is we wanted to get out of that situation and become something. What I want to ask is how, you said something about how you reach out to these people and how they become who you thought that they were going to become in the future. What if What if the Future Awards is the boost for them to become what
Yeah.
the inspiration? You know why I said that? At the point in my life, it took me close to 15 years before I eventually became an artist, like established artist in the industry. As a musician. Now I'm not into art. I mean that sort of thing, but I know the struggle. I knew what I went through, and there was a plot. There was an info at the time when I had my first single that there was the biggest award that we all know they're going to nominate me. I knew how I was so happy. It's because I knew that if they nominated me, that would be like a stamp.
It would validate
It
the
will
work.
validate me, you know. And that's what I'm saying about Future Awards. What if psychologically this is what Future Awards does to these people? But why I'm saying that is because it never happened. They did not nominate me. So we got an info that for sure I was nominated. And few days to go, somebody called me again and said,
They have moved
"Sorry,
it.
for a silly reason." So I need to have a one-on-one with Mr.
Marshall.
Animashal. Yeah. I am
I forgot it was Eddie's.
I am so like disappointed, because it was said that it was because of my name being Akim the Dream. That's why I wasn't nominated. And he had a thing for the basketballer. And he said the basketballer Akim the Dream, like, he was just maybe pissed off, like, why is this guy bearing that Akim
Basketball.
Olajuwon's name? And I'm like, is it just because of that? So all my work would just go because of my name. I was so hot.
Have you had a
So
conversation with him?
you know, it's because the reason I did not have that conversation is because somebody told me. So I'm like, okay, I didn't
It's
hear
not.
it
It's
from
not. It's
him,
not valid.
but then he validated it. I went to the office like after maybe 10 years after all of this, and then I had changed my name not because of him. I changed my name for to another. I mean to Kimo. And then I went submit my video by myself, and he saw me and he said, "Oh, you've changed your name now." I'm saying, "Oh, you just
Just
validated it,"
validated it all.
you know. So, but my point is, I knew how that hurt. I knew how I felt, and that's why I'm saying I think this is what Future Awards. That's the impact Future
But
Awards would have
it's a good
with the
thing
people
that
too.
future awards doesn't rest the decision doesn't rest on your
No,
shoulders,
it
and
doesn't.
because that's one thing, his personal biases doesn't
Mm,
matter anymore
In
because
fact,
there's a system in place, and that's how
yeah.
all awards are supposed to be
yes.
like.
In fact, it is something that I'm very grateful for. Is that I have almost no input because I know how many people. I said it when before we started. I said,
Yeah.
I as soon as that sent out the nominees list, I got a lot of DMs. My DMs are, in fact, a lot of things are in my DM is, how do I not get a mission? Why you're my guy? Why you don't know me? I'm like, brother, it's not me. It's not. I wish it was me. I mean, I don't, but if I could help my friends, I said me, and I always said, but I wish they had given me the award too. I need the validation too. I mean, it would be nice that a group of people sat down somewhere and said, "Wow, this guy deserves it." I nominated myself. Chibi, you didn't even nominate yourself. You they are shouting that they did not nominate you. Me, I went on the website, I filled the form, and I did not get the nomination. And when I got in, I was asking, who are the people that were the committee that did not choose my name? And they're like, we don't know. I mean, almost because the system is it's such a closed system, you almost don't know. It would take a lot of work. The amount of time you spend trying to find out who nominate you, you would have sifted through thousands of forms. Because the people that do it themselves, they are so isolated. Before we used to have this WC where we all sit down. Now we only sit down briefly. More often than everybody does because it's virtual.
Yeah.
It's a website, it's a link. They fill the form, the judges do their thing with their own knowledge. Do we sometimes assume that judges have bias? Of course. But when we are 12 judges, how much can your bias influence? Your power to score anybody is only 100. Are you going to score 100 and oversee 1,100 people's
Yeah.
scoring? It's almost impossible. So it's such a democratic system that is built on principles. And these judges is so interesting. The judges are not all from the same industry.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you have Olumide Makojola, you have Yemi, Madame Oleko, you have Dr. Paul of Landmark, you know. So you think about it. How many people does Dr. Paul really know? Who does he? He's so busy running Landmark. So when he's going to vote and going to judge, he's judging with the data
Yeah, that is presented.
is presented. It's not, he doesn't know Akim the Dream. Will he be biased if Akim the Dream? Probably. But you're not the only person is judging.
Yeah.
So even if he judges you down, there's somebody else doesn't care, doesn't have the same bias.
Yeah.
And it also means that the awards are so credible. And that's why 20 years, I always say 20 years of doing this, it's the same consistent approach, same story. I see it every time. In fact, there's something that we've been trying to do is set up a Future Award podcast. Maybe with my partner with Level Linda to get the
That would
Future
be
Awards
cool.
nominees to come in and talk. You would
Yeah.
hear them and you would understand the value. We did a small version 2 years ago when I first came in, and I was motivated. I was inspired because a lot of them were speaking about how when I won the award, I know I changed my life. And when I won the award,
That's what he
my
that's
point.
what he was saying. Yeah.
It's so underestimated what.
oh, it does.
Yes.
It changes
It
lives.
is,
I promise
it
you.
is.
We should
is.
totally do that. Set up a podcast
Yeah.
edition.
I think
for-
this will be a good time to also announce that we're collaborating this year.
Oh, yes.
Creativity and the Future Awards. We are revolutionizing.
Red
That's the
carpet
word,
experience.
Abby.
We are
Red,
revolutionizing
red carpet experience.
So for the first time this
Yeah.
year, I'm going to tell Linda's thunder. This is my time to be a host. This is the only time I'll be say host. This is time I'll be a host on a podcast. For the first time this year, when you come to the Future Hours on our red carpet, you're going to have live podcasting with Live with Linda. So as a nominee and as a guest, you get the opportunity to say your piece and share tea and
Yeah,
creativity
spill
with Linda on creativity.
Great.
I do.
You did amazing. All right. So I can't wait for that one. I think it's something new. And everybody that I've shared it with, they are impressed about it. They're like, so and this is what you do. You're not only shaping the future with the awards now, you're shaping even the future of how to do events.
Absolutely.
Red carpets,
Absolutely.
and it's something that is meaningful. So I really like it. I love this collaboration. I hope it will continue, and we would collaborate on the future podcast as well.
Most definitely.
Yes.
I look forward to that. We should definitely have a future podcast. Also, we actually need it. You need to hear the Future Award nominees. They will tell you. And it's not just the winners. That's the best part. It's not just the winners. Just nominations.
Yes.
Changes trajectories.
Yes.
But
it
how do
does,
people
actually.
get nominated?
So that's what I'm saying. They go through the CWC.
So they have to
CWC
fill a form.
Yes. Anybody can nominate you. We do a call for nominations in March. If my calendar serves me right, it's March. We announce it for like 3 months. We put a call for nominations out there. So fill a form. If there's somebody somewhere, fill a form. Like I said, and our team also nominate people. By our team, I mean the Red ecosystem, not Future Awards.
Yeah.
Red ecosystem. So I can nominate someone. I'll just go online. I see this person. I think she's doing great. She's a great artist. I'll put her name on the form. What's the worst that happen? You won't get through the numbers. And it's not by having many nominations. Of course, the more nominations you have, the better, because it means more CWC members will see you. Remember, the CWC is about 50 people. So if you only have one nomination, it might be only one person that might have seen it, or 2 people, because they share it around. But we cannot send all nominations to everybody. We have almost 10,000 nominations. One person cannot look at everything. So if you have multiple nominations, it means multiple people will see you, and multiple people might say, "Oh, I may not have agreed." Somebody else, because the whole debate, like, no, I think this person should go. I think no, they will have this conversation. They do it. They do that. So once CWC have picked the group they want, they send it to us. That list they send to us now forms what we send to the IAC. The Independent Audit Committee now audits that whole ecosystem
Again.
to now say, oh yeah, based on what they've recommended, these people actually are great at entrepreneurship, so that those ones are filled with professionals from those industries. So they're great at this, great at that. Yeah, we've seen the numbers, or we know this person, or this numbers, this document is submitted actually makes sense. This doesn't make sense, We did do all of that. And then that final list is now sent to the judges. Right now, the names are with the judges.
Interesting.
And on November 8th, we'll see who wins.
I think the reason why Future Awards is consistent till now is because it's, from all you said and from all our experience of the Future Awards, is basically because of the genuinity of why you guys are doing this. I think the sincerity is still there. The core is trying to like uplift people, real people,
Yes.
and you're not going for the popularity of trying to be number one or award. You know how the clout. You're not going for the clout. You know, and since that is still your backbone, the reason why you're doing it, I think that's one of the reasons why you guys are still here and will still be here forever.
But you
I
guys
mean,
get afraid, you get challenged, like when you see threatened, when you see other awards coming up and then taking all the spotlight and all that. Does that move you a bit?
So I don't feel threatened by other awards. I think that's the first of all, that's the core reason why the Future Awards stuff was birthed, to give room for expression for young people. So we're quite excited about awards like Trend Up Awards because we see that they are filling a niche. I'll give you an inside story. Most people don't know this, but those, if you've been on Twitter as far back as 2010, 2011, Jude actually started what is called Twitter Awards.
Oh, really?
Yes. It started Twitter Awards where we had this idea that they are influencers on Twitter. Why are they not getting awarded? They are doing something. It started it, and there was a huge opera from people like, how are you? Why are you doing Twitter Awards? Who are people on Twitter? Who are those people on Twitter? Like, why would they? Why anybody be awarding anybody on Twitter? It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So it was one of those projects that I felt like it should have not listened to the crowd, but they stopped because they felt like the wala is too much. You know? And now there's Trend Up Awards,
Yeah.
which exactly speaks to what it was,
Content creators. Yeah.
what he was trying to fix. And that's why I say that they're those founders, they are real visionaries. They see it. And for us, we don't feel threatened by other awards. No, on the contrary, we're quite proud that people see what we're doing and want to emulate it. I mean, the greatest form of flattery
It's
is,
copy. Right?
you know, it's
Emulation.
imitation. So we truly appreciate it. But more importantly, our true pain is that because of the authenticity of our awards and the authenticity of the execution of the awards and how we've stayed true to rewarding people, not for glam, but for purpose.
Yeah.
A lot of brands struggle to want to sit with us. It's very interesting.
They're supposed to be associating with you
We
because
would
of
go
that.
to brands and pitch, and they'll be offering us, I don't want to mention the sums like here for sponsorship. And I'm not talking even, I'm not talking 10 million here. You're hearing brands offering you 1.5 million, 1 million. I'm like, that is how much value you put behind the product you are doing. I mean, it's not, we don't even charge for the awards. The awards are free, entry is free. They are global awards, you pay. Cannes and the rest, you pay. You pay to enter. But the Future Awards, there are no entry fees. It's free all the way down.
Yeah.
And we'll almost convince people that support the project. I mean, get your name behind such a laudable project. They able to say, Tunde Onokoya I sponsored this category when it was this. And we always tell you, we even allow you to retain ownership of the product for a 5-year period, for a 7-year period. So you can use the image after the fact.
Oh, really?
Because we know that the people that we give you, the people that win, and the people that get nominated, become actual value to you. And most of them are like, almost struggle. And that's a real pain for me because I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I see the problem. And it's an ongoing concern. It's predated me where we struggle to get brand support. It's such an interesting problem.
Are you sure it's not because of the economy and not really because of...
I mean, brands are supporting Dirty December.
supporting what?
Dirty December. There'll be an ask party somewhere and you see like 6-7 brands are falling over themselves to show up. And I'll go to a brand and I'm like, I need drinks. I'm not even asking for money. Drinks. Just put drinks on the table. Give free drinks. We're not sure this is. I'm like,
So how do you guys sustain
800 young
it?
people.
So how have you guys been sustaining it for it's over 20 years now?
20 years.
And hopefully you'll still be around for
Because
the next
we are an
100
NGO,
years.
we
Okay.
have a lot of love.
I see.
Again, we've built it on the back of an NGO, and I speak to people every time. Part of everything I say to them is we don't get paid to do this. We do it because we truly believe in the young person. We truly bring young people in Africa, and a lot of them, like you rightly said, because of the validation that, in fact, we get a lot more support from our ecosystem, from our alumni system, than anywhere else. So, the photo shoot for this year, the nominees photo shoot, was Yemi King's. He was a winner, I think, 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So he shot it. Snapcode is taking some of the pictures. It was a winner last year. We get a lot of that. Emmanuel Eke has taken pictures for us in the past. We get a lot of support in that manner. People who have gone through the Future Awards Academy, I've gone through the Future Awards as a project, will see it and say, you know what, this project changed my life and I want to support. I get a lot of that. I mean, last year we had Melody Fidel. He sponsored, give us about 10 million naira, an individual, almost for no value. And they do that. People come back and look at the awards and say, you guys have done something, you've changed my life, and support. And I think that's the greatest story there.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so hopefully brands will turn up this year.
They should.
They
I mean, it's an
should.
exciting project. You know, there are a lot of exciting things. We have music performances. We have the podcast with Live with Linda.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about the creativity, you know, there's an opportunity on creativity.
Yeah.
We're looking for a sponsor for tea. Top Tea. Shout out to you.
Just
You are
real
sponsors.
shout out.
They are sponsors 2 years ago. Come back.
And I think the most important thing is I feel brands should put their money behind something as valuable as this. It's recognizing people even before they start being popular. They are being recognized for creating impact, and these are the people that are going to shape the future of Nigeria and Africa in general. Come on, I think brands should put their money on this.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right now that we're on the topic of brands, sorry, a minute. I feel like I owe it to those brands that have stayed consistent supporting us
Yeah.
to actually mention it. Knorr has been one of our greatest sponsors. They've been here for us. Nigerian breweries. Over the years, they've always, come through. Amstel. Last year we had Tiger and Feroz. And I think it's fair that I actually give them the spotlight for those who actually, show up consistently. Like I mentioned, Top Tier has been here before. We've had quite a number of brands. I'm sorry I cannot call all of them, but I'm just mentioning the ones that have shown up. Dukia, it's housing property. They supported us as well. And I think it's fair that I mention these brands because it's not every time you actually have brands who look at you and say, we want to do this. Nigerian breweries, no, they've always come through for us over the years. And I think it's very fair that I give them that.
Nice. Shout out to them. It's not easy. Everybody wants the flashy thing, the trendy thing, which is why I was asking you that how do you stay grounded? Well, you see the people that are grounded, people that are really making impacts, are the ones that are shaping the future that your brand will also benefit from.
Yeah.
So it's come on now. It's
agree.
an amazing project.
Last year we had Maven.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Maven came through it.
That's to tell you why they are still in business. They've been in business for a long
Exactly.
time.
They
And
get
they're
it.
still because they get They get it. And it takes a brand that really gets it to get it.
I
And they
agree.
know how else to explain it.
I agree.
You have to get it.
And I always say to them, there's a lot of opportunity for brands to show up. And I think this platform is probably one of an example of that. It's not about the Future Awards, just the awards. It's about the ecosystem of what the Future Awards can bring. Opportunities to actually engage with young people in a space where they look around and they are validated. Like, you rightly mentioned.
Yeah.
There's nothing more powerful than bringing the brand that supports a young person's growth. I watched the story of some guy, I think he was a Red Bull, supported him as he started out in his career. He never quit. When it was Monster, I apologize, it wasn't Red Bull, it was Monster. He never quit. He said, when they asked him, it was Tiger Woods.
Okay.
It was Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
Said, it was Tiger Woods. I remember that. I think it was even on your page or something.
Yeah.
I think it was on your page. Tiger Woods had this interview he was doing, and he mentioned how other brands had dropped him because of some things. But Monster never quit. Monster said, no, we're going to stay with you or something like that. And he stayed. And when
it was when he had his a scandal or
scandal.
something.
And then when he came back, he went back into... So the love was different. And there's nothing more powerful than being a young people on this platform, because the Future Awards is the platform that most of the young people want to interact with the brands on it. It means it's the only place, it's the only platform where young people don't have a choice. They're not there. I will not tell Tomike, for example. Tomike, we need you to do something for... No, should I say, because should we do it? Because the Future Awards is not... No, it is the Future Awards and
No. Yeah.
It's the best way to get influencer marketing without actually forcing anybody.
Yeah.
And they do it willingly. All of them.
Nice. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to add that, not just the brands, is not fair that they go for sponsoring the people in the house,
Which house?
You want me okay, the Big Brother house. So that's not the only thing the brands should sponsor.
I agree. It's great. But
sponsor that, but
That's
still
just the only
you
thing.
get still support meaningful projects as well.
Yeah.
That's just what we're saying. Yeah.
And I
Great.
also want to add, we also have to give him his flowers.
Oh yeah.
Consistency is key, and also coming up with innovative way to sustain this is very hard. I think there's an aspect of him we don't talk about much, which is creativity. He's very,
Yeah.
very creative, and we
Wow,
give you your
creativity on
flowers.
creativity. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, I agree. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
you are creative because you were the one that came up with this idea of revolutionizing the red carpet and say, "Oh, this year let's do something different." Not everybody would have thought about that.
You have no idea all the things I come up with. And I truly agree and I appreciate the feedback because I love it so much that you appreciate it.
Yes, I
Because I'm not a
do.
podcaster, but
Of
I look at
course.
it, I'm like, we can do more. And not to blow our own trumpet, we did the awards last year. And the entire event flow, designed it. My team and I would design the entire event flow. A brand, I'm not gonna mention the name, they launched they did an anniversary of sorts and they copied our entire event flow. And I was so impressed. I mean, I sat down, I was like, I felt truly validated. I kid you not, because when I saw from the way the music went, my music lineup was loud, this, that, saxophonist, spoken word artist. Like I had it, and it was a flow because I was going for a message. They copied it to the T,
Wow.
including the talents. I was so blown. I felt really honored. I would never mention it anywhere else, but I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes people see the work we're doing and say, you know what, that makes sense. And I like it. So this thing we're doing with the podcast and all this, I share some ideas that we're going to do at the awards this year.
Nice.
So I'm really hoping that it becomes, it gives brands a true reason to say, you know what, I want to be on this. I want to be a pioneer.
Yeah.
Like I said, we won Guinness World Record before people made it cool. I won Guinness World 2018. Everybody's rushing now and going to get a Guinness World Record. I'm like, I did it in 2018. Been there, done that.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, it's been an
We said
exciting
we should ask, so
episode.
why is there anything in your cap that we need to know?
Why the style of my cap, Abi?
Yeah, you know who asked now.
Oh, my good friend here.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not there's almost nothing. It was I'm one of those people who I tell my people I have a whole saying. There's nothing new under the sun. You have a saying, there's nothing new under the sun. And more importantly, I copy with pride. I read a book when I was very young, like 14, that when I just finished secondary school that year. I read Anthony Robbins' book, Unlimited Power. It's a really huge book, really technical book, but he spoke about modeling and how if you want to succeed in life, find somebody who had done it before. That's where role model concept comes from. By the way. Find someone who had done it before and copy them. What's the worst that will happen? You become a photocopy, right? And then photocopy can then add your own essence, and you become you. So when I was picking a cap, I wanted to have a look. I had a friend who wore a cap very similar, and I liked it so much. I'm like, who made it for you? He said this guy. I'm like, oh, you know what? And I called the guy saying, no, make me a dozen of them. So all my caps have the same pattern.
Really?
Now
I'm
people
just
think
noticing it.
see it and think I invented this style or this is my style. I just took someone's style that I liked, modeled
made
it,
it your
and
own.
owned it. Now even the person that owned that own style, I won't mention his name, doesn't wear it as often as I do. But I like it. And that's the whole essence,
Yeah.
Find something that is good, find something that looks good. And it looks good on me, so I do it. Keep it. Why break it? So there's no meaning to it. I'm not Ashwaju.
Okay, thank you so much for being here, Ayodeji. It's
you
been an amazing experience, and we're looking forward to experiencing something much more amazing on the 8th of November, the Future Awards. Make sure that you are there. I'm going to be there live and direct, and we're going to cook up like an episode of creativity on that day on the red carpet.
Yes.
And it's going to be the first of its kind. Amazing. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you're there for the Future Awards
How do you pronounce his name?
2025. Mr. Ayodeji. Is that not it?
Yes. Ayodeji.
You thought did I pronounce it wrong?
No. Just
I'm not Yoruba, so
It's okay.
Yes, you can pardon me.
Pronouncing is always easy. It's the spelling that people always murder.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Do you have final words?
Oh no,
before we go?
I'm just gonna say, to all the young people out there and those who are always asking me, how do we win the future or how do we get nominated? It's simple. Follow our page, follow on social media. At the end of the day, there is no hack to it. Just most important thing, stay true to the work you're doing. Do it. Regardless of whether people see you or you think people are seeing you, just do it.
Just
Keep
do
at it.
it. Yeah. It's not
I
about
promise
trending.
you, it doesn't always feel like it, but it pays off. Do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're
And I
welcome.
love the tea. We should do this again
Yeah,
on
we
November
should.
8th.
Yes, we're doing it on November 8th. All right, guys. So if you have any questions or you'd like to add anything, leave them in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until we see you again for another powerful episode of Creativity, it's bye for now. Woo! Woo!